What's going on, fam? Welcome back to episode number 6 of the Instagram Q&A. You can submit your questions on Monday, early morning Pacific Standard Time at my Instagram. It'll be linked right up here at noah.cavanaugh. So go check those out. Mondays, early morning Pacific Standard Time. I answer all the questions in short form there on my Instagram and then in long form here on YouTube. Gives it a good opportunity to get everything you need to know about your question, and I do some little bit of back research on each one, so that's good for you guys to know as well. Let's hop straight into the questionnaire. Question number 1, any tips on treating tight groins, adductor, hip flexor, abdominal wall muscles? Stretching is huge. A lot of the I'm trying to remember what it's called, but it's basically you're strengthening and lengthening at the same time. Forgive me for the lack of term here, but basically what you're doing is similar to if you were to do a calf raise on a stair so that your heel can actually go below the 90 degrees. So if my heel's like this and I go up, right? So my heel's there, my toe, and then I go all the way down like that, it's strengthening and lengthening. So that type of stuff is really good. And then just lots of stretches. You got your butterfly stretch, you've got your groin stretches, you got your hip flexor stretches. Make sure you're doing those 2 or 3 times a day if you've got super, super tight hips, because that can affect your lower back health and it can affect your health moving forward as a footballer just in general. So lots of stretching, lots of good strengthening areas, but make sure that you're doing lots of stretching and strengthening at the same time. Question number 2, how to get ready for a trial. Now, I could answer this question with 3 different videos or an entire series because there are a lot of things that I think you need to think about when you are getting ready for a trial, but the biggest thing is kind of the 4 pillars, right? So you got your physical, your mental, your technical, and your tactical. That's kind of the big things. Under physical, you've got your nutrition and you've got your gym stuff, your strength and conditioning. Under the mental side, you've got your mindset stuff, you've got your mental training, you've got the way that you think about mistakes, the way that you think about games, the way you think about your orientation on the pitch, etc. So that stuff, lots of mindset stuff. You've got your technical, which is obviously all your actual football skills. So lots of technique work, lots of shooting, passing, dribbling, awareness, etc. And then you got your tactical, which again, I would say awareness bleeds into that a little bit, but a lot of awareness, and then where you are in orientation to the rest of your team, and then where should the rest of your team be in relation to you, how you defend as a unit, how you attack as a unit. Obviously in a trial, it might be a little bit different. If you're trialing for a particular club, I'm going to take these glasses off because they are a little much. If you are trialing for a particular club that you know plays a certain style of football, I think in that case, studying the tactical side of things from their formation perspective could be really useful to you. That being said, when you're in a trial, it's usually a bunch of people coming together to trial for the same club. So things like open trials or invite only, they'll have 11 or 12 guys come in. And in that case, it's much more of an open format. So you should be able to play a bunch of different positions. But I would say just making sure from a mental side, I think the mental side is the most important thing when going into trials, because if you're getting invited to train with professional clubs, semi-pro clubs, just if you're getting looked at to play above the level that you're currently playing at, it means that people have recognized your skill level and they have recognized the work that you've put in. So from that aspect, I think from the technical standpoint and the physical standpoint, I don't think a lot needs to change necessarily, because that's been complemented by being invited to something like a trial. That being said, I think the mental side is where things get really, really important for players as they move into the trial period. So that just means making sure that you have all of your ducks in a row, so to speak, as far as how you think about the game, how quickly you can get over mistakes, because at the professional level, when you make a mistake, you don't even have time to say, oh crap, I made that mistake, or it can't even sink in. It's got to be, it happened, and your reaction time has to be so quick and so immediate that nobody notices, right? So if you make a pass, let's say you get the ball off of a goalkeeper and you play it and you miss a pass and they score a goal, you should be going and trying to get that ball again to get over that, just as you would a normal play, right? So really making sure that in your mind you say, I've thought of all the things that I could do, and I'm controlling my controllables. So I'm making conscious decisions every day to move myself closer to my goals of making this team, right? So nutrition, physical, all that stuff. I've put in the work, and it's clearly being recognized because the team has invited me on trial. That's a huge thing, right? And then the third thing I would say is just relax, have fun. You only get to play football for so long, and for some people it's a job, but football for me plays a very special role in the way the world works because it's a way that people can make money, but it is also a thing that people love so, so, so much. So I love it. That's why I do it. I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it anymore. And I think you should do the same thing, right? Just enjoy it, have fun, show the skill that has been recognized, show the skill that has been developed, and you'll be totally fine. Question number 3. What are your favorite dribbling drills for passing and dribbling? So what are your favorite drills for passing and dribbling? Honestly, partner drills are amazing. 1v1s are the best for dribbling, bar none, because then you're in a game type situation where it's really intense, especially if you do point systems, right? So if first to 5 goals or first to 3 games playing to 5 goals or whatever kind of system you and your training partner or partners come up with is really, really helpful. So 1v1s are my favorite for dribbling. I love wall drills and partner wall drills for the passing aspect of things. There's a lot of videos that I have from when I was in Australia, when I was playing at the 2 halves. Those are the types of passing drills that I love, where it's really dynamic. It's really good for your directional first touch, making sure that you're getting out of the ball out of your feet and taking those passes and getting accurate passes. So those are kind of the 2 that I would say. If you can get next to a wall, individually speaking, oh, that's really annoying and loud. Sorry about that. So if you can get near a wall, that's probably the best for an individual. But if you can't get to a wall, get a partner and do some passing drills there. Question number 4, how come scouts see one mistake from a player and cross his name off? So I'm not a scout, so I don't actually know if that's true. The individual who asked this question, I don't know. I think it depends on what level you're at. I think if you're at a super high level and I think it's more about your reaction to a mistake. I think if you make a mistake and you look over at the scout and you get all angry or you get angry at your teammates, of course they're going to cross your name off, right? Because you have a bad attitude, you're not reacting positively to what just happened, and you are effectively making a 10v11 because you're sort of taking yourself mentally out of the game. So that's I would say the piece that scouts would look at or should look at, I guess, not necessarily if they make a mistake. Obviously, you have to make as many passes as you possibly can. Your pass accuracy matters and the effectiveness of your passing matters, but in my opinion, what matters more is your reaction to those mistakes. So I don't actually know if it's true that you make one mistake in a trial or whatever and a scout crosses your name off. I have for sure made mistakes in my professional tryouts, and I've still got signed for the team because I reacted in a way that was conducive to a leader, was conducive to a positive mindset, was conducive to a teammate that somebody wants to have on their team, right? So that's my bad. I screwed up, so I'm going to sprint after the ball and win it back. Make sense? So at the end of the day, do they do that for missing one pass? Maybe. That being said, I don't know. I genuinely don't know that question, that answer, because I'm not a scout and I don't know any scouts personally. So yeah, do with that what you will. But again, my 2 cents is focus on your attitude and obviously make as many passes as you can, but everybody misses them. So if you miss them, react really well to it. Question number 5, at what age did you fall in love with football and why? So football for me has always been a passion. It's always something that I've been, since a very young age, it's been something that I've been super, super interested in. When I was 10, 11 or 12 maybe it was more than that. Maybe it was 12 or 13 years old. It hit a point where I really wanted to start looking at the professional game. I was watching pro football and being that's what I want to do when I grow up, even though your career doesn't last more than 20 or 30 years in the pro game, 20 years probably at most. Yeah, that's what I would say. 12 or 13 years old, it really hit me. And I love football because of the people who are involved in it, the people who are fans of it, the way that it makes me feel. And it's a game that has constantly solvable problems that I have to be thinking about all the time. So that's a little bit of a meta response, that second part. But I would say for me, I really like being stimulated mentally, and football does that for me. And it's something that I just absolutely love doing. I love having the ball at my feet. I love playing with a team. I love a team dynamic, all that stuff. So that's why I love it. And obviously everybody's answer is different. I think what's important is you find the answer that is really right for you. And if it is something that at the end of the day you say, yep, that is exactly why I love football and that's why I'm going to continue playing football, more power to you. And that's what it's all about. Question number 6. When are you debuting the Rebulas? Those cleats are, insert fire emoji, flame emoji. So I have debuted the Rebulas already. There is a video up on my channel. It'll be about a week and a half or 2 weeks before the debuting of this question and answer video. I like them. They're still, in my opinion, the best leather boots you can buy on the market as far as quality of leather and quality of build materials. That being said, they're not the boots that I'm going to be wearing for my full-time training. I don't know if the video of the boots that I'm going to be wearing for the rest of my professional career, hopefully, if I can get my hands on them, enough pairs of them. I don't know if that video has gone live yet, so I won't say anything about what they are called, but I will give you a hint. They are a generation prior to what's currently on the market. So I'm gonna buy probably 10 different pairs of them and then just keep them in my closet until I go through them. Similar to like what Matt Sheldon's doing with what's the boot supplier that he uses? Halt's Boots, I think their name is. Shameless plug for them. I think that's like the way that he's doing it with his Vapor, what are those, Vapor 11s or Vapor 11s, I think. And that's what he's doing, and I found the boot that works for me, and I used to wear them. That's another hint. They're on my channel, so in the last year and a half, 2 years, I've worn them, and I absolutely loved them, and I don't know why I switched out of them. It's probably because I didn't realize you could buy them, but there's a website that I found that you can buy them for a good price, so that's the boots. But the Rebulas, to answer the original question, they're amazing boots. They are for some people, they're just not for me for competition and training. Question 7, one of my favorite questions I've ever been asked on these Q&As. Does ejaculation affect footballers? Stamina, muscle growth, and performance. So let me answer. So I've done some research on this. Ejaculation, depending on whether you're a man or a woman, that kind of depends, but I'll speak for guys. It affects your testosterone levels, like it sends a spike in testosterone, but there's been no solid evidence. So it basically is, until it's been proven so, it's not the case. It has not been proven. There's made zero difference or very marginal differences between players who played within 2 hours or whatever, 30 minutes or an hour or whatever, after ejaculating, and then athletes who did the same things without ejaculating, right? So there's been no difference in the way that training happens for people, no differences in stamina, no differences in muscle growth or performance. The one thing that is really interesting, though, that I found in the research that said from a mental aspect of things, it can be a good thing from, what's the word I'm looking for, like a superstition standpoint. So out of tons of athletes that these scientists on like Google Scholar surveyed, a huge percentage, it was like 65 or 70%, said that ejaculation helps their performance. So if you believe it to be true, it will help you, and if you don't believe it to be true, it won't help you, right? So if you ejaculate before and you believe it's going to help you, it will increase your performance because it's up mental. There's nothing physiologically that it changes, but it's a belief system thing. So at the end of the day, it's kind of up to you. I know guys who don't want to have sex or masturbate before a game, and guys who absolutely have to masturbate or have sex before a game because it's just what they do and it's like a superstition for them. So that's a fantastic question though, and it's really something that I think a lot of players think about once they get older, you know, in a way that's obviously consensual and respectful to their partner. But yeah, I think, you know, again, like, I think if you are somebody who believes that it will help you, go for it. If you believe that it's going to hinder you, then don't do it. And that's it. Like, that's the extent to this whole thing. So that's the best answer I can possibly give. As far as my personal opinions towards it, I've kind of fluctuated. I don't know. Sometimes I feel like it helps. Sometimes I feel like it doesn't. If anything, it reduces stress. That's been proven. So it reduces stress, anxiety, and some other things. So if you're super nervous before a game, like, or the night before or whatever, like, yeah, maybe it's helpful. And maybe that's something that you do. I think that's, in my opinion, that's totally fine. But yeah, that's the best answer I can give. Thank you for that question. Appreciate it. Question 8. If you could have dinner or train with anyone alive or dead, who would it be and why? Train with Cristiano Ronaldo for obvious reasons. I think that'd be amazing. So fun, and just to get an idea of what that relentless pursuit of excellence looks like from inside the mind of him. And then I would have dinner with Pep Guardiola because I think he tactically is one of the most brilliant coaches that's ever lived. Short answer. Question 9. When can you be back on the field? Now. I got cleared a week and a half ago, so I've been training full-time ever since and having an absolute blast with it. Question 10. What country would you want to play in the most? That's a great question. I loved Denmark. The football was pretty good. It wasn't the best I've ever played, like with team, as far as like how good teams were. But I just love Copenhagen. I love the Nordic countries. So I think playing somewhere there would be amazing. That's on my bucket list, to play in a fully professional league there. And then, I don't know, playing in the U.S. has always been a dream of mine, playing at the top level in the U.S. for my home team. Yeah, that's good. Thanks, guys, so much for joining me for that Instagram Q&A episode 6. Again, submit your questions at noah.cavanaugh on Monday mornings, early morning Pacific Standard Time. I post a story with a little Q&A bubble, and you guys can I'll answer whatever questions come through. I write them all down, and I give as best answers as I possibly can on these videos. If this was valuable for you, hit that subscribe button. Consider liking the video as well, because it really helps with the algorithm. And of course, as always, guys, be awesome. Take care. I'll see you guys in the next